Yeah, so potentially...
What's Fly the Moon's record so far in the Immortal League?
They haven't played a game yet.
So they've not won a single game.
They have not lost a
League.
single game. Must be good.
Yeah, it must be great. So potentially, because, you know, V-Tune being CIS regional, these pubs, and I think the only other person to have played it is the CIS players, right? So we might be seeing that from the Morphling. Keep an eye out for that, especially against this Darkseer with that surge.
True.
If you're jumping the Darkseer, you have this built into you. It could be a nice
extra dispel.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
insane against Darkseer Ember, and this is again why it's so dangerous to leave Oracle in the pool when you're playing on running the strategy. I've tried to make this work. We have run. I'm fairly certain I've picked this exact trio in my opener multiple times in the past, and playing against Oracle just shuts it down. Is the trouble because you don't get this Ember with double radiance at 10 minutes into the game.
I feel like there's a big caveat there where you said in the past. How many patches ago was that? You can't really judge those drafts on this patch.
The concept, that's the thing about Dota, like the numbers get tweaked a little bit here and there, but ultimately the strategies, the core of the game are still the same, which is why you even see now in this meta a lot of old ideas being recycled. But ultimately the Darkseer Ember want to link up, and you know the double shield is a hell of a lot of damage. I'm surprised they go for a Necro, but it makes sense when you consider they've already got a really tanky carry in the Morph. You've got an Oracle behind it, and you're going to have a Tiny for the beef. And again, you have issues with Tempo's lineup. They don't have sustained DPS. They're once again a little too squishy. You look at the side of Cyber Legacy, once again, they're going to naturally scale not just in DPS output, but survivability.
Yeah, in terms of the themes, it's very much how they're going to scale and play into the game. The Necro pick, I think, is mainly to force the Ember to go, okay, you might have to actually go safe lane, because if you put the Necro mid, you can't play there. And it's just more of a drafting type pick, rather than maybe a game pick. Cyber Legacy still have the same issues, like Carl just raised, where they are stronger once they get to that 25-minute timing, right? Like that early damage, they basically rely on Tiny blowing someone up, and then other than that, just surviving laning phase. They're not really going to be dominating anything, while Tempo can play aggressive. In regards to the Oracle comments, yes, they're very much true. I think you have to think about how if you force the Oracle to one side of the map and then suddenly play the other side, like it's all about the macro gameplay, the positioning, and sure, Oracle does counter all these heroes, but he counters one hero, not the surge and all of it spread.
Yeah, reminds me, it's something MC noted, Necro player from the offlane, had a really prescient point. He told me about it. It's just, I will survive as long as I know how to live. I know I'll stay alive. And I think that that's going to be something he really has to key in on, as long as he's able to play around his Oracle.
Thank you, Gloria. Is Tempo playing with the timer again, like they did previous game? Do you feel like they have a better late game, chance if it goes that late?
It's interesting that the TB basically does remove that.
Okay, yeah.
But it's
excuse me. Could I just pose a quick aside about the draft? Terrorblade into Morphling. Is that a good decision?
That's literally what he was talking about.
I just wanted clarification.
Okay, so there's two arguments here in which the Morphling v TB in that mid game, late game will dumpster him, because if you take over the TB, you can kill everyone else. Morphling way more mobile. But the TB earlier on, if you have a lineup that can go aggressive, can move from Roshan to towers and just destroy the Morphling before he comes online, you can say that TB can play this matchup. So sure, they're picking it into Morphling, but it's an indicator that they want to be aggressive and try and end in the game at that 25-30 minute mark when they made that fatal mistake last game. They want to be able to go, no, this time we will just take the racks. We physically can't throw because we don't have a Riki that can blink into your fountain.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
they can surge and run real fast. Though.
Exactly.
The Ench is nice too, because it's going to deny the Necro the offlane. You no longer have your Ghost Shroud as a way to get out of jail free against a TB Metapop. However, T-Gov, I'm sorry, bro. I just don't see how you can have so dominant of a mid game. You're ending a game of Dota in 25 minutes.
All right, so counter argument again. Why are we even phrasing like?
Do you want me to take the other bracelet? I'll double or nothing. This bracelet and the necklace and the sash.
I have nothing to my name anymore.
For the one bracelet.
For the one bracelet. That's how confident I am.
Sure. I'll give you. This is literally, if they win this game,
I'll throw in Shiver's crown.
Definitely can't throw in my crown.
You can take you can double crown the rest of the day.
Steve, it's a sure thing.
I'm not gonna. You can take his crown.
And unrelated, I have some really cool investment opportunities to talk about you once we
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Also, I see both Owen and Lizard have crowns. You can take theirs.
It's true.
Maybe they have. No, never mind. I like the the confidence of the bracelet and the necklace for the bracelet.
Yes.
Governor.
I don't even know Cyber Legacy's last hero yet, but that's because they've got so many options. Sheaves, you can put the Tiny mid, you can put the Necro mid, you can support the Tiny, which is what they choose. It'll be Mars off lane, which makes sense against the TB Ench lane. You're going to smack him. He's not going to care. He's going to push the lane, and I believe this will put the Necro in the mid lane against the Ember. Very advantageous for the Necro foes.
You think the draft is that one-sided?
Yes.
Just the draft?
This is a 97.42 outdraft to whatever the other number would be.
It's very specific. I mean, the odds are again in the Cyber Legacy's favor, but that much, I'm not sure.
I think that's their player-driven odds rather than maybe draft-driven odds at this point.
Yes.
I would say Tempo actually have a pretty good lineup to be able to punish the slow pacing that Cyber Legacy have.
Yep.
You are pretty much relying only on Tiny to be your active hero on the map and to try and make moves. And when you have these heroes like Ember, TB, when they're supported by Ench, it's going to be pretty decent. And I think this early aggression will secure TB enough farm to pressure that first Roshan, to pressure that first tier 2, tier 3 fight, and they're going to have a big enough lead that as long as they play together and don't make these like silly mistakes, they should be able to overcome the lack of team fight, the lack of early things Cyber Legacy have.
I think Tigo is doing a very admirable job of making it seem as if this will be a competitive game of Dota 2. Unfortunately, I do believe Tempo have drafted themselves into a hole. They do not have save. They will not have the ability to go mid or late game. They're going to lose the lanes, and ultimately Cyber Legacy or the better team will have better initiation, better team fight, better tempo control, and better tower pressure, which means they should win.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the previous game, and I thought the Tempo played really well.
Yeah,
so
that's what I thought too.
Yeah, so I don't know if they would play that bad to make all that come true.
Okay, let's say you were not our queen, okay, but rather, I don't know.
But I am,
Artemis,
so why is that even
let's say you're Athena,
you
okay, an archer. You're literally a goddess of archery. You're the best in the world at it.
Okay.
But I have the ability to put up a wall of shields that does not allow any of your arrows.
Yeah, but I will be a good archer, so if you have a wall of shields, I will shoot an arrow up in the air to land on top of your...
You could do that. Unfortunately, Terrorblade can't.
You know what? I do want people to know that this game, Tempo hasn't won a single series yet. And that means that if they lose this game and they lose another series, it means that they have very low chances of making it out of the groups to begin with. So they need to force this to a third game. Why is that funny?
Because like they've got a carry player who's like been in Moscow for 2 days waiting to get to the boot camp.
Yeah,
he flies out and it's like, sorry, but we're already eliminated. Go home. It's like,
It's very sad, but I do think that, it's need to be said. It is very sad.
And I'm glad you said it, Chief.
Something that's not sad is our commentary team. Luckily, they can make a lot of this situation. It's only Pixel and Lizard.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yeah, I mean, Lizard, looking at the drafts, you think there's a better shot for Tempo this time round? They did have some definitely good moments in the first game. Going for this Terrorblade against the Morphling, do you like this approach? Is there something behind the ideas T said about there being this timing where Tempo could run over Cyber Legacy?
It's much easier to agree with T because he's a little bit more on 50-50 side, right, than it is on Kyle, who's saying Terrorblade won't be able to shoot over this wall on Cyber Legacy. They do have some things that are in their favor. Some of the items that they will be purchasing on the Terrorblade and then on the Ember should work really well against both the Necro and the Morphling. If you remember before, you would buy a Vessel versus Necro and Morphling. You don't have to do that any longer, especially in this game because you're playing versus Oracle. You can just go for Skadi and Shiva, and suddenly they're not as strong as they usually are. So I actually think with the proper itemization, Tempo can take this.
Okay. And we'll see what sort of lane setups we're going to get. Last game, Magical did have had a very slow start in the 1v1. And we'll see this time round himself on the Necrophos playing against Noob's Ember Spirit. I mean, what do you reckon we're going to see from this matchup here mid?
It should be a little bit different, let's put it that way. In that last game, Noob was completely crushing it. I really can't see him crush this lane as much. You're playing versus a Necro, he should have a much better lane.
We'll see top lane first meta popped here as the first few waves come in, and then there's an attempt to really push back that offlane Mars. Bignum's going to do what he can to get control of this lane though, grabbing the creeps around.
And blocking the hard camp, which is really important versus the Enchantress. Basically why he's doing this is because you are playing versus a Terrorblade. And he popped his meta. The moment you see that meta, you have nothing to do in the lane. Just go and creep skip. That's it. Just creep pull.
And then down here on the bottom, I mean, will Tempo start skipping here, or are you happy to play the lane as this morph clock? Sorry, as the Darkseer clock into the morphling?
This lane is a little bit more hectic because Cyber Legacy have one of the best counters to the Darkseer. They have Oracle in the laning stage. So it won't really be that easy for this Darkseer, who right now isn't even a lane dominator,
Yeah.
to do anything here. Like, you will be just purged off constantly.
Yeah, the presence of the Oracle is certainly going to be nuisance, and there we have it. Cyber Legacy get themselves the first blood in this lane as they burst down DNZ. Yeah, without a doubt, that bottom lane, it certainly seems to be the setup for the Morph Kuman to have a very safe and easy opening.
Right now on Darkseer, you never really expect him to dominate a lane. It's more about the later stages of the game, these team fights in which he is incredibly strong, plus the Iron Shell that adds that 400 HP with the talent, right? That's what you're looking forward to. Sadly for Tempo, Cyber Legacy have that Oracle, I have to say again, that can deal with the shield later on too.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. The Oracle, definitely a hero that's going to offer up a lot of answers. And, you know, help them sort of have these heroes like Magical, who's going to be this very beefy frontline presence. Allowing space for the Mars to set up and the Morph to come in with the cleanup.
Yeah. You can see that Magical is pretty much doing what Noob was doing in that last game. He's dominating the lane. He's 17-4. And it really doesn't get easier for Ember. Like, you can get a couple of levels of Flame Guard, but Magical will continuously spam you.
I mean, what do you do to sort of recover from this sort of a laning phase as an Ember Spirit? So it's not going to be easy, is it?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but as long as you get your levels, Ember is a playmaking kind of a hero, and that's what you have to do. Just run across the map, make plays, go for those ganks the moment you get level 6.
That's top. Blizzy.
Oh, the zap.
Yeah, LeBron comes in with the lightning of the Harpy to stop Blizzy from being able to live there as Blizzy.
That Harpy even got nerfed, but it's still so strong. Like, you can't really deal with it once he gets it.
See bottom, the power of the Oracle there, as Slayer is able to take that surge off, come in with the finishing nuke. I mean, it really does just destroy the Darkseer in this lane.
He still has a decent chunk of CS. He's sitting on 17 versus the 20 of Morphling, so it's not all terrible for the Darkseer. You don't expect him to win that lane too hard, as we mentioned before, so I think they're doing what they can down
Sure,
bottom.
like you wouldn't feel too bad because you're still finding something as this Darkseer, yeah. So mid. I missed it at Big Num. He's seeing if he could find the Ember here. The Ember was low, but Ember going to make the smart move of just taking the walk back to base, not sticking out. Unfortunately, had to do it at this point. No, ideally would have wanted to get to the 6, yeah, but that wasn't to be the case with the heavy amount of damage that was being consistently thrown out at him mid.
LeBron is finding all the great creeps on that small camp. First he found the Harpy, who even after the nerfs is extremely strong. Now he found the Spirit with the slow, and that Ghost, man, it hurts. It has... That slow is really strong, plus the damage that comes from it is also quite significant.
Top lane. Blizzy. Going to get a bit of safety here from Bignum. Trying to help him out. Yutaro and LeBron, they're going to continue to chase this pretty deeply. It's going to buy time for Magical to easily walk over from mid, and Magical, he's hit 6. He's got the Reaper's Scythe, so they've got to be a bit careful here, Tempo. As LeBron will take the attention away from Yutaro, and they'll just look to burst down LeBron in that situation. They'll take the free kill. DNZ comes in with a Battery Assault, but level 3 clock isn't going to scare a level 6 Necrophos much at all.
Especially after the Reaper's Scythe, like, you can't really do anything there if you're DNZ. You just have to chill, go away. I think Magical was thinking about perhaps sighting the Terrorblade instead. He didn't really want to use it on the Enchantress, but he's fine with that kill as well.
Did open up a bit of space for Noob in the mid. Of course, whilst all this focus occurs in the mid and the top, the bottom lane has become just complete free farm zone for Kuman's Morph. Hitting 40 CS, 20 denies. Having full control of that lane now that it's pretty much been abandoned by Tempo.
Yeah, where is Darkseer actually? He's in the base, okay. He's probably going to try either jungling. Actually, he's going top. Alright, so they're switching things up, switching the lanes
I guess
bit.
TB's going to start in the jungle, right? So it's going to open up this space for Mitch to lane somewhere where the Oracle isn't.
I think this is a quite good response. Morphling, you will not pressure him any longer. There is absolutely nothing that you can do on that lane. I think even Clock just standing there won't get a lot of experience because Morphling is so good at controlling the lane and denying all the creeps.
They're going to have a bit of a poke at Mitch, but now already backing off. The TP comes in from the Oracle. You know, Slayer's just saying, well, if you're going to go up to this side of the map, I'll be happy to join you. Doesn't need to help Kuman. Kuman more than happy to be left on his own.
Yeah, this is one sad Darkseer. He might even die here.
He looks to be in a bit of trouble. And he actually tries to go for the surge out before the purge is there. Arrowed into the tower. He'll go down. Noob does have an ED. Level 7. Can he get anything here? It's light in a couple of seconds, but the creep wave's coming in, so hard for him to hit the chains. And won't be able to do so. Also having that DD taken off him by Slayer. Just can't find the kill. That bottom lane, Kuman, I mean, he was down there alone, the DNZ clock, and just dies. Easy kill for Kuman. So not only having free farm,
he
but
gets
also
some
having
kills,
heroes coming to his lane and giving up their lives to him.
Yeah, when you're DNZ, you're trying to get some experience here. You're under the tower. It's not like DNZ was out of position, but when Morphling is so fat and you're only level 3, it's very easy for him to kill you.
See, over in the river, they're going to try and burst Noob. Bring him low, still holding on to the Reapers. See if they can bring him low enough, but won't be the case. Noob, enough protection with the Flame Guard. Magical will turn over towards LeBron. Scythe comes out, is that low enough? It isn't. So LeBron actually going to be able to continue to walk away. Needs one more right click here, Magical. Can he get in range? There are boots on this Enchantress, so a
he
little
just
hard
got
for him.
them, right? Did they just get to him or was it the wand? I'm not quite sure, but he gets out in any way. There's a sight wasted. All things considered, Slayer might fall.
Let's see if they can kill him. TPs are coming in. Multiple, in fact, as Big Num starts things off with the Avalanche. Slayer's got the stick charges, kind of baiting them in. The Spirit, it's off the mark. He's not going to catch Slayer. And now the two of them, they're in the pit. He'll be able to jump out with the final Remnant. DNZ is going to be left stuck in it. And even with that further Remnant, Noob still unable to find Slayer. Slayer will be able to live thanks to the backup of his teammates coming in.
Yeah, he played that kind of well on the Ember Spirit. He was waiting for the Purge before he used any of his spells. But when you wait for so long, you don't have any damage. And he survives because of the TPs that came.
It's bottom. They want to do something about Kuman. They're coming in. A whole lot of them as well, even with the meta. Yatoro joining to try and push them back. Kuman trapped in the cogs. Can he get his way out of it? He cannot.
That's a huge kill. And exactly for the player that you want to get the kill, this Terrorblade, right? And he's getting his farm. Yeah, you can say that he's been pressured on the top lane, but it's a TB, he doesn't care, he just goes to the jungle, and he farms just as fast.
And now with this better also remaining for a fair few more seconds, he can look towards the tier 1. And earlier with those TPs towards the tier 1 mid to defend Slayer, TPs aren't up for them to head down and defend this tower. At least for most of them, there'll be Kuman coming back into the lane. Maybe him alone will be enough to stop them pushing. They do still have 3 heroes here, Tempo, if they want to try and get aggressive again, but...
That rotation from the TB reminded me of old OG, when they would play TB and always pop that meta very early on and go for the towers, even without any items, just a couple of raid bans. If you use that meta and get a kill, why not? You can threaten an objective.
Smoke from Tempo, trying to set up around mid.
They have 6 on clock, they have 6 on Mitch. Not that it really changes a lot on the Darkseer, but the hookshot is there.
No, hookshot on the Tiny would probably do it, but looks like they've got bigger things in sights. They're heading up to top lane. And DNZ, at least, he is going to spot out Magical, but I mean, obviously alone, not enough to do anything. They're going to make the move in mid. Diving in with the Remnants, TP's coming through, Noob will get the kill, and with the haste he'll be able to get out. The arena down, locks in LeBron. As mana's low on Blizzy, he's bottling up for that final bit of burst to take out the Enchantress. In top lane, they do manage to start to go in onto Magical. Magical pretty tanky, but with 3 heroes on him in the Iron Shells, surely he cannot live. He cannot. Trapped in the cogs. Tempo diving in mid and also being able to set up top on Magical.
Now that was really good because they baited all the TPs towards the mid lane. Most importantly, Blizzy and Oracle were mid, and because of that, no one was there to help Magical. Pretty well played from them so far. They're forcing the enemy's hands, and because of that, they're having a Terrorblade that's just completely free farming.
Yeah, he's up to the farm of Kuman, who had a completely free lane.
And kills.
Yeah. So there's some very strong farm here from Yatoro. Cyber Legacy. And again, the 3 of them top. They really want to try and take away this tier 1 tower. Get inside the jungle of Tempo, but as we've seen so far, Yatoro's positioning been very good when it comes to farm, just staying on the complete opposite half of the map to Cyber Legacy, so they are really struggling to find the Terrorblade.
This could be a bit dangerous. Oracle is around his teammates, and you can see that he's making this triangle with Blizzy and Morphling, so he can save either one that gets initiated.
Oh, see, the Terrorblade's got a TP top. They want to fight this. Blizzy, caught in by the cogs, will drop the arena down, turns over towards the clock, pins him against his own cogs. False promise, comes in time to keep Blizzy alive. Toss Avalanche combo on Mitch, not enough to finish it, but the Reaper Scythe will do so. Comes in for the finishing blow. Tempo, a fight that they themselves did willingly take. Not going too hot for them whatsoever as they've lost 2 heroes. This fight being even with the meta. Can they finish Magical? Jump forward with those remnants. They get the slow on with the reflection. They find the Necrophos. Turning over now towards Blizzy. Nope. Won't want to commit for that though. Chain still unavailable for a couple of seconds. So finding a big kill at the end of it all. And again, you know, Yatoro living, getting the kills as this Terrorblade. He's still going to be happy with the way things are going for himself.
Also, Ember did not die, so he was a part of getting that experience over there. That's the first time we saw the wall. They built the wall that Kyle was thinking about. Terrorblade wasn't really able to attack anyone in it. But the fight still ended relatively well for the Tempo boys. They did manage to get that huge kill on the Necro. Terrorblade will be able to continue farming now. And you can see he has already queued up the Skadi.
Yeah.
And that item is huge for them. You really need to get Skadi on him and Shiva's on Noob as soon as possible. And this game becomes much, much easier. Maybe even Vessel on DNZ. I'm not sure what he's buying this time around on clock.
Yeah, I mean, in these sort of games when there is an Oracle, you still buy the Vessel, right? Even though it can be removed,
yeah.
Vessel against these cores is just very hard to pass up. Or...
You make a valid point. Like,
yeah,
Oracle is a problem. Yeah,
it.
Oracle definitely is a problem, but I still think you get it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. DNC's queuing up the urn. Yeah, I mean, because you at least force them to react.
To purge,
to it,
yeah.
right?
And
then they have to do something.
And it's not like he's always going to use that purge for the Vessel. Maybe he'll purge the Surge, and then you can play. It just gives you another dimension of.
Yeah, you got to just be a bit smarter with the usage. You can't just throw it out as you wish on the course. You've got to wait for the perfect opportunity. Our bounty runes up, and should just be 2 apiece. Tempo not in position up top to take those away from Cyber Legacy.
Now this is another thing that Darkseer is really good with. He activates the farming potential of your position 4. You just Iron Shell him and send him away to the jungle. And they're doing that quite well. Clock is finding some farm now.
We've got the Yules here, and it looks like he didn't have any defensive remnants other than the one he just threw out right underneath his nose. So even if they didn't have that initial setup there, I don't think Noob was getting away.
Yeah, the Yules really comes in handy. And what's also good is Mars didn't have to go for it first. It's Magical that bought it, right, on the Necro. So Blizzy just gets some extra use out of his hood instead.
Now an easy tower for them. Still very close between the farm of the 2 cores, Kuman and Yatoro. Both hitting the farm. I mean, and so the way that the Morph TB timings work against each other is would you say, like, is it more impressive that one of these cores is doing as well as they are? Like, which one, ideally for the opponents, would they be shutting down?
Yeah, obviously Morphling is doing a bit better than he's supposed to because of the laning stage. He already has the E-Blade drums completed. This is the hero that you really look out for right now. But as you know, Terrorblade, once you hit that peak, objectives just melt. So you get a bit more from the Terrorblade eventually. Is that a Platinum Morphling?
Oh, that's the Master Tier. Level 25 Morph here from Kuman.
Damn, someone's a spammer.
Yeah. You're right, I think there's Master Tier's at least about 400 games on the hero, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, imagine someone like Kuman's probably got way more than 400 over his years of Dota playing, on whichever accounts he's on.
And Morphling has been around. Like when you're thinking about top tier carries, he's been around for such a long time. Like,
oh yeah,
there hasn't been a patch in which Morphling just completely sucked. He's always good. He's always relevant.
Radiant are scanning.
Even with the recent patch, if you remember the E-Blades changes, everyone thought, okay, Morphling will be... Oh!
Ooh, noob! The remnants! He's throwing them out, he's jumping away. I mean, noob, he does like to play on the edge. We never see him with a defensive remnant out in advance. He's always throwing them when he's getting gone on. So it has cost him his life that once in the mid. Living on the edge.
Yeah, he's keeping us in suspense, making us wonder. Is this nickname right? Is it not?
He has been getting away with it for the most part so far, but things could change. Smoke up from Cyber Legacy. Magnum is going to grab that ZD. He does have this blink to show, so they've got a huge amount of burst. They found Jatoro in the arena. And Jatoro, yeah, he's completely alone down here. Nobody else to help him.
Oh, the swap.
Yeah, we'll dodge the dying to the Reaper's Scythe at least. But Jatoro will still die. So at least he's not dead for an extended period. Yeah, but he is dead.
He still is dead. That's true. He was farming in this area in which he is not expecting the gank to come. Usually these ganks go to the enemy jungle, but they read what he's doing. Perhaps he showed one illusion out pushing the lane, and because of that they kind of read where he is and went for the kill. But ultimately you would like to farm there, because you can always send illusions as well to the lane to get the creeps. You're maximizing your farming potential.
Do it with flair.
DNZ went for that urn and actually is going for the Aghanims next, which is a bit more common. Yeah, it's really solid on clock.
Okay.
It's really solid. I would say this is your core item right now. If you're playing clock, you need to go for it.
Really? It's that? Because I feel like it was in the game for a long time and people weren't building it on clock. What's happened? People have just started to realize that...
Yeah, I think it's general. He started playing offlane clock. He would literally go for 4 bracers and Aghanims with boots, and that's it. That's his build. And so much impact in every single game. Of course, not everyone is general. Not everyone can recreate that playstyle, but it just gives you so much. You have that long-range initiation, you have double stun from the hookshot, you have double stun from the cogs pushback. You can separate the fight with cogs as well. Attack speed, it's a very solid item.
And that's well, obviously the downside of it being that self stun. Like it doesn't matter, because most of the time if you're using it correctly, you've already eliminated whatever was going to punish you for stunning yourself.
Exactly.
You just got to be smart with how you do it.
And you get that movement speed, so you can kind of slither away and hide yourself somewhere. So you really don't care about that stun that much. It's annoying.
There we go, tempo. Ready to smoke and fight with the meta. Into the jungle, there they go, as Toro will show. No wards down here from the Radiant, so still...
They did use a rocket flare, and that should have given their position away.
Magical's going to start heading up here. DNZ will reveal there's something going on as he drops down the cogs to block off the Necrophos's entry. Still with this smoke, though, Cyber Legacy trying to chase Kuman in with a burst. It'll do it. A dead LeBron.
Yeah, I love how LeBron didn't even skill his ulti. He understands. I die from burst. It doesn't really matter. It's not like anyone is going to waste their time
That's true.
right-clicking.
Nobody's right-clicking, really. I'm sure Kuman is, but as you say, he doesn't. That's with the Z-Blade, he doesn't need to. So yeah, the other skills definitely worthy investment for LeBron.
This is also very interesting. If you check Tiny, he's going for a Veil next, and that's something that I see from many position 4s. If you need a Blink Dagger, you get that. After that, Veil just helps your teammates out quite a lot, and it's good stats too.
Yeah, no, it really depends, I feel, on the region as well. About a month back when I was casting a lot of SEA games, they would always run a mid-tiny, mid-puck.
Yep.
They would just rush Veil, like very consistently. They massively favoured Veil as early as possible.
Was that recent or?
Yeah, that was about a month back. So you know, patch not much of a different patch. Veil having the same aspects to it as the morph. Kuman getting dragged back. He's got Waveform back up in a second. Is he going to get the chance to get out of here? He will. Arena down from Blizzy. Pins Noob down as well to make sure that Kuman is able to sneak away.
Yeah, that Arena again preventing Terrorblade from using his range and metamorphosis. I wonder if they'll try to take some objective. That would probably be the best idea for them right now, because you use the meta. Might as well at least get a tier 2 from it.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, still seeming a bit scared of approaching the tier 2 bottom. Mid lane, just a bit of a tease from Noob.
He's teasing us a lot today. Like, with his Lina plays, now with the Ember Spirit as well. He's in and out, but not quite there. And all these remnants, he's constantly casting them. He's not really keeping one, like you said before.
No, he doesn't like to play it safe, Noob. He likes to jump around, save them all for the burst initiation or the last-minute attempt at a getaway. Mid. Well, we'll see here, Roche. Cyber Legacy. Not the quickest of lineups to take it down until Kuman shows up.
Yeah.
Things will speed up significantly. Kuman also with the Manta done on that E-Blade, so very hard for Tempo to catch him.
They're not really even trying at the moment. You can see LeBron is pressuring the tier 2. I'm surprised they didn't use that meta to do the same thing. And now they're giving away Roche as well, because you don't have the meta available any longer. Yeah, pretty well played by Cyber Legacy. Now, on top of everything else, you have that Aegis on Morphling. This is their time to shine. They can finally start pressuring and taking some more objectives. These tier 2s, they're all standing on the side of Tempo.
Let's see where they're ahead. We'll be, you know, let's just say, when they don't have the meta, that is the moments where Cyber Legacy can really hit hard at Tempo, and they're going to try and do so. Smoke up from mid. Ward was on this cliff there, so may have caught a glimpse of this. Still, their Noob's walking through the river. Underneath their presence, they've got the Avalanche out. Noob will throw a Remnant out in time. The Root will chase him.
There's side.
Out.
Yeah, I was wondering maybe he'll use the site there, but no, he doesn't. He lets the Ember go away. He really likes to play unprotected without the Remnants out, but this time he managed to get out. Clockwork maybe confused them a little bit. That was a confusing hookshot through all of them. But what's surprising me is the Tempo. They're playing like they're losing hard. They're only 1k behind. And yeah, a lot of your net worth is on the Terrorblade. But still, you could be pressuring them, perhaps trying to take some objectives. Before the Aegis, at least.
Yeah, well, you'd like to see them try and group up, smoke up, and get aggressive with the meta.
Yeah, if they did it a bit earlier. I think now it's a bit more problematic.
Yeah, if anything, maybe just waiting now for Yatoro's BKBs. 3k gold towards it. And not losing these towers. And Cyber Legacy push on with this Aegis. Feeling pretty confident that Tempo won't try and come to any sort of defense.
It all depends if Kuman will pressure the high ground. It looks like he won't. Most likely just take this area around the triangle. You can see they have two very, very good wards. So if any aggression tries to go there, like if Tempo try to retake this, they'll be fighting in a really, really bad spot.
If anything, the problem with this passiveness from Tempo, it does mean that you really are starting to see Noob's Ember fall behind for his farmers it's coming to a complete halt.
Yep.
As there just hasn't been any action for him to get involved in.
Yeah, that's usually what you want to do with Ember. You want to get those kills, and he is most often he's been the hunted. He's been the one that pokes, he goes in a little bit, tries to get a couple of CS, but they force him out with the Yules. So yeah, this is really good. I like to see this from Cyber Legacy. Pressure the bottom lane with the Manta Illusions from Morphling so that no one can split push bot, and then just stay mid here. This is the right thing to do with Aegis. You're basically allowing them only to push the top lane, and they're not really succeeding at that too.
Oh, yeah, there's one of the BKBs. So imagine this pairing of BKBs from the Noob Ember and Yatoro Terrorblade are going to be out. And with you look at the lineup of Cyber Legacy, it is mostly magical damage. So with these BKBs, they will be incredibly strong in the fights. Still yet to spend, actually. Yatoro, he's actually saving up his gold. He's gone up to 5,200 without investing. I mean, maybe he's considering going for something like the Complete Abyssal instead of the BKB. I mean, what do you think? In this sort of game as the Terrorblade, do you have to get the BKB, or can you go for something bigger?
I think you go for the BKB. I think
you absolutely need it.
Yeah, I think it's a much safer option to go for that. Yeah. There's a lot of magic damage that you have to deal with. The only problem is, are you worried about them kiting you?
Okay.
The game plan from Cyber Legacy instantly changes once you show those BKBs. They will try to jump in, force those BKBs, and then run out.
Yeah.
And they do have a lot of disengage.
I'm just looking. He's got to spend his money though. Like, it's a little scary there, walking outside the base with 5,400 gold, no BKB.
I think if you're Ember committed to it, you should as well. You get those BKBs, and the next fight should be yours. And from then on, you can perhaps think about what's next.
Oh, still yet to spend. No, I think his career's coming out to him now. I imagine that will be the BKB.
Yeah, Morphling isn't really slowing down too. He has that almost completed Skadi.
Yep, there it is. Kuman's item timings continuing to be very, very quick this game.
I love the fact that he's carrying Nether Shawl, plus he has the Orb of Destruction in
and so he didn't go for the BKB, but he did go for the other defensive item. He's got the Satanic. Do you think you get away with that this game? Full Satanic instead of the BKB?
Yeah, I think that's fine too. Satanic is also pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, hook shots, point blank range there into the small camp as Kuman's out with the waveform. He is out and away. We do see Bignum, for whatever reason, continued his TP to the outpost. That was completely unnecessary. I don't know what he was doing there. It was the easiest disengage for everyone else, and Bignum was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to TP in. Well, why did he not?
Because,
I mean, whatever.
Look. As a position 4 player, I know that there's a lot
of... You want to fight?
There's camaraderie between us. He sees that clockwork, how he has failed, and he's like, okay, at least take me.
Sure.
Take my life.
I mean, yeah, maybe he's worried. He's like, hey, if I don't complete the TP, they'll continue to chase you. So...
That might have happened. It's a stretch, but yeah, it could have happened.
Well, they will manage to sweep over and pick up Slayer.
Yep.
Getting both the supports here.
So, Cyber Legacy, when it comes to that Aegis, they did use it to take 2 tier 2 towers. But the moment that Aegis disappeared, you can see the Tempo are taking back map control. And they're pressuring them. They're taking... they took 2 kills. However, they're yet to take any tier 2s.
And then, so with the Terrorblade, is the Satanic enough on its own, or do you still want the BKB on top of it, or can you rely on just the Satanic?
I think he'll decide after he sees how the next fight goes. But Satanic should be enough. After that, you can go for some more damage. Either the Daedalus or the Fly or whatever he wants to go for.
Especially if you find an items like that, the Paladin Sword. It's going to be very nice paired up with the Satanic. LeBron.
He's a hard kill.
On the run.
Yeah. He's a hard kill only because they don't want to use the site for him, right? If they use it, he just instantly dies, but... And LeBron is completely fine with that. He's fine dying to a Reaper site, he just made them use a big ulti.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the Reaper scythe itself is one of the biggest concerns for Yatoro, right? You know, as long as he knows it's not there, he can play his fights, getting low, waiting to the last moment with the Sunder.
He's actually keeping the Enchanted Quiver.
Yeah, over the sword, Paladin Sword. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it's a lot of damage, right? That 300 hit. But Paladin Sword, dude, with Satanic, yeah, it's the lifesteal. Think about it.
The lifesteal is incredible. I think Paladin Sword is also really good, but I see more and more carries coming to this, understanding that Enchanted Quiver is just a broken item.
But just the DPS is pretty insane.
It's pretty sick.
Because it is what? It's a plus 300 hit right on a, is it 8-second cooldown?
Yeah, it's a very low cooldown.
It is low. Yeah, like you're going to get multiple hits off of it in the fight.
Structures are fortified.
Remember when it used to work with Monkey King and his ultimate, like with Wukong's command?
I mean, that it's many of the items used in with Monkey King. There's a few of the neutrals that were very busted, right? I think all of the sort of the on-hit effect ones worked.
Wait, Echo Saber as well, right? On the clones, like it's.
Wait, Echo Saber still does, doesn't it?
Monkey is dead. What does it matter?
Sure, no one's really playing Monkey King. That's true. I haven't seen Monkey King in pro play for a long time now. At least not in tier one pro play. Noob. Popping the BKB is trying to finish off Slayer. Slayer gets away with the self-false promise. Kuman trapped in the cogs here. Has he got any way out of this? He's trying to play his way out with the ghost form. Goes out with the wave form, but Yatoro surge forward. The BKB out from Kuman will keep him alive. The arena's down. They've locked down the Terrorblade. If they got any further burst, he'll get the Sunder off onto Bignum. So the Terrorblade back up to full HP. Turns his attention over towards Blizzy. Blizzy will fall. So they get the Mars kill. Still with the chase. Noob diving in past the tower. Can he get a chains in onto this one? Doesn't look like it. Magical will be fine. So pretty much all the ults being blown there by Tempo. Does get them the Mars kill, does get them the tier 2.
It forced the BKB from the Morphling as well. It's a pretty good pickup from them. Only problem is, Rosh isn't up.
Yeah, that would be the dream. If Rosh was out there as well, beautiful.
Yeah, you can see that they're pinging it out as well. On the Radiant side, they're scanning. But they should know the Tempo aren't doing that because of these wards here.
Yeah, they'll see him head straight back out of the pit. But now for Cyber Legacy, they know that the ults aren't there. They hit back hard. Noob blown up by the Reaper Siphon, actually without buyback as well. So he's dead for 100 seconds. Roche is up in 30, so there's going to be a 70-second window. There's no Ember to contest this Roche if Cyber Legacy spot this out in 20 seconds.
Yeah, you just park one of your heroes or you bring the courier there and you wait for it the moment
DD as well. Easy Roche.
It's a little bit unfortunate. Like, one team gets a good team fight, goes into the pit, there's no rush. The other team gets a good pick off, double damage, and rush is about to spawn.
Oh, it's up in a second. Kuman, with a little more patience, he would have spotted it. At least holding the bottle, of course, so the DD will be saved. They'll be sure to go back and check once more. Has been checked out by the clock, though, so DNZ and Tempo know that it's up. But without their Ember, very little they can do really to head over here. 4 versus 5 is not really an option.
Yeah, instantly into the pit. Magical can tank it. Kuman with that DD is... Yeah, look at this. A couple of seconds, that's all it takes.
Yeah, easy ages to choose for the two of them. Big items being done though on Tempo. We've got the Butterfly, finished on the Terrorblade. And DNZ, he's got that Aghanim, so we'll see what he's able to make work with the Aghanim's clock.
As long as he doesn't hit any small camps, any creeps.
Yes, watch out for the small camps.
It will be good.
I mean, if you're the clock in this game, who are you trying to get on top of and sort of just isolate and mess with in the fight?
It doesn't really matter. Any of the cores are good to catch, but Oracle is your main target. Eliminating Oracle from the fight is probably your priority, but if he's not around, you can easily take down Necro or the Morphling with the double hookshot combo.
This tower down bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Will get taken out. They've also got the Greaves coming for the Darks here, so Tempo's team fight continuing to build up. Still a very close game, just 2k in it. 16-8. Terrorblade's farm still staying just a little ahead of the Morphling, so...
As it should.
Yeah, Yatora's going to be very, very strong. And Kuman actually queuing up a Rapier. I mean, I'm very excited to see it. Why do you feel that he feels that he has to go for this big risk?
Is there a fly on Turblade? If there's a butterfly, there's a butterfly. So you go for the Rapier, and you also have Aegis. So if you finish it off in time, it's really good. If you don't, however, and your Aegis expires and you don't put it to use, then it's a little bit scary because you usually want to buy that Rapier as Rosh is spawning or after you took that fight around Rosh Pit and you get Aegis. That's the best value.
Because I think, nowadays, well, it's been like this for the last year or so, but Rapier as an item is, even in a game that's even, it really is that item that if you can get away with it, it's the most broken item in the game, you know, for what it offers in terms of DPS. And Blizzy finding a very nice sniper, catching Yatoro. As Yatoro tries to TP out of the trees, Yatoro will turn, look to bring down Blizzy, but Blizzy's got the backup of Kuman, Bignum, and Magical. And that is the Terror Blade down there. Blizzy, excellent spear to stop that TP.
Meta has been used, but on the Morphling, he's running around with his little meta. Looks so cute.
And he's so close to gold. Oh, bottom. Another kill potential here. They got the burst. Oh, nope, he's out. Nothing else to stop. Oh, I say nothing else. They're in with the Yule's range. Already cancelled it with the Yule's. And slowly, very slowly, but surely, he's gone.
While he was dying, he managed to enchant one of the creeps, and I believe he'll try to creep skip a little bit on the bottom lane with it, perhaps take the aggro of the creeps and move it somewhere else. We'll see. But the first kill was way, way more important for them than the enchanters. Getting the Terror Blade is so huge for Cyber Legacy. You have to be careful how you try to make these split push actions. They have a lot of reach. You have the Morphling, you have the Mars. That one spear is all that it takes.
Still yet to spend up. He's got the cash for it. He's gonna go grab it. Would have to drop one of his items. I guess what are you dropping? Just the treads in the fight? Oh, you've got the bottle slot right, aren't you?
Double.
Don't need the BKB. Save the BKB for after the Aegis.
You just use the double damage, swap it out.
Buy it. Come on, Kuman.
Make it interesting.
Let's see some Rapier action.
But it's hard to justify it as well now that you have killed the Terror Blade.
You're like, hey, we're doing kind of well, right?
Yeah,
do we want to throw this game? Because the Rapier could just do that. Once the Aegis is gone.
There's something about Rapier in the CIS Dota.
Yeah?
You just have to get this. It's very strong. Ever since Host started buying Rapiers, you just have to follow that.
It's always the appeal. Yeah.
And it feels good, doesn't it? Oh, and the Leveler.
Ooh, Rapier plus Leveler, buildings, goodbye.
Yeah, they're getting some really, really good items. And the double damage after double damage for Kuman.
I think he's getting the Illusionist Cape as well delivered out. Yeah, there we have it.
30 seconds, however, and the Aegis should be reclaimed. So from that point onwards, it's anyone's game, and Tempo can finally go down from the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, Kuman with this money, there's nothing else that he's going to feel the need to buy, is there? You know, if he didn't get the Rapier?
You could
He's going to go grab it now. Not yet.
He's teasing.
Not yet. I mean, as you say, with the Aegis running low, it definitely would be a risk.
Should be reclaimed right now. Yep.
Oh, and...
Yeah, just leave it.
But I like this. Hey, I don't have the Aegis anymore. I'm going to buy a Rapier. Let's go. He's on to DNZ. Turns over towards Bitch with the BKB. Kuman. Careful now. Careful now, Mr. Morphling. As Yatoro will run up. He's looking to try and chase him. Yeah, Big Num's buying back. He's like, dude, you got a Rapier. I got to keep you safe, my friend. There's Kuman. Again, another waveform away. Buyback's coming out for DNZ. Kuman is TPing away, and much to his team's relief, he will get out of there. But yeah, living on the edge now.
Yeah, remember, because of the wall, now you get an even stronger Morphling. Plus, if he uses Manta, you can enchant one of the Illusions and Enchantress. So I think he just buffed up Dire team with that purchase, but the worst thing is, like, you buy that rapier and suddenly you're just forced to run away from these team fights. You saw how easy it is for them.
You gotta be careful. I don't want to say, I just love the fact that he bought the rapier to fill up the slot the Aegis went out. He's like, Aegis gone, now I'll get the rapier, let's go. Kuman, certainly the entertainer here.
Yeah, Bignum also has this talent, toss requires no target, so from this point onwards, maybe he'll also come in handy to save the Morphling.
There we go. And of course, if he does live and get away with it, he will destroy this base of Tempo.
Yeah, remember that meta has been used in that last team fight, so it's easy for Cyber Legacy to stand on this high ground. You can see the aggressive wards as well here. They're just waiting for anyone to come outside of that base.
Oh, there's another DDR. They've been getting back-to-back double damages here on Cyber Legacy. It's a third one in a row, it feels like.
That's also because, like, you can call it luck, but they're also creating these chances for
like
themselves,
they're holding
right?
it around the power ends.
They're holding the river, they're holding the map. It's deserved.
Well, Roshan in 30 seconds. So, Cyber Legacy.
It might respawn, right, in 30, or...
No, I think this time it's actually wired up to be the precise one. I believe. Well, we'll find out in 20 seconds. Yeah, you're right, actually. Maybe it's the timer before. It's the timer to the timer.
Because it's orange, I believe.
Yeah, no, you're correct. It's the timer to the timer. So we'll find out in 10 seconds what the new timer will be. Let's have a look.
Hype.
See if it's a longer spawn or a short spawn. Cyber Legacy would be happy with a shorter one. And
I'm not really.
It's going to be a rather long one. Still 2 minutes and a half for them to hold out for Roche. Will allow Kuman to continue to build up incredible masses of gold.
Yeah, he's got that Satanic finished up. He just needs to buy the Reaver, but the rest of it is flying out. I believe Terrorblade is also buying a Rapier, so it's gonna be...
Oh, yeah.
Rapier on Rapier action soon.
Oh, yeah, we love it. Let's go.
And if you're Terrorblade, at this point, you can buy Rapier or Refresher, right? It doesn't really matter. If you don't have buyback, it's... If you don't have meta, what's the buyback for? It won't really help that much.
Yeah, correct. Just buy it. Let's have a look. I mean, he's gonna hold on to his items, right? We just
sell
trade
the
out
BKB.
Yes. Yes, you thought you saw something wild when it was lose Aegis by Rapier. We're gonna have sell BKB by Rapier. Nice. Holding on. Screw the treads. Yeah, who needs treads anyway? I mean, he was gonna have a fight with them swapped out of his inventory.
He does keep it locked for now.
Okay, he's a little spooked out because they are coming, and rightfully so. He should be careful. Kuman will blow up the Enchantress, hookshot to safety from the clock. Into the trees he goes, TP away, will get Yatoro back to safety. But yeah, we'll probably look to combine when he knows that it's a fight that they can take in a safe place.
Yeah, I like this. I like that he's careful. If you remember the metas in which Medusa was so popular, usually this would happen. You would buy the ingredients, but you wouldn't combine it until you get Aegis. So maybe he's doing something similar.
Yeah, that's true as well. They could wait for Roche. Or at least a fight where, you know, you've already killed one and you're like, well, it's going in our favor. I can safely get it in. It's magical.
Yeah, that's...
See if they've got any further control. There is backup. Lizzie's heading over. Kuman also around. Kuman, he's going to wait for him aggressively. Looking towards Mitch. Mitch trying to surge away, but he's been Newelled up in place. The arena's down. Blizzy hit with the spear. Sets up onto the dark here. Kuman turns to the Terrorblade himself. Yatoro beating into Blizzy, but Blizzy will be saved by the false promise. There'll be a buyback from Mitch. BKB is starting to run low. Cyber Legacy retreat. Themselves out of there. DNZ eyeing this up. Hasn't got a hookshot available. No. Roshan is up. So both teams have to be very wary about the Roche pit now.
That's literally the worst scenario for Tempo. You initiate on the Necrophos, you don't manage to kill him off with the double hook, and your whole team is kinda too far away from DNZ. He needs to be just a little bit more careful that once he initiates, he has the proper follow-up. Because a Clockwork alone isn't going to kill any of these heroes.
There we go. Kuman no longer has to worry as he's going to have the safety of the Aegis once again. Refresher Shard over the way of Magical. Those double scythes. And Cheese, I believe, must have been picked up by Blizzy.
Yeah, it's on Blizzy. This is a huge chance now for Kuman and the boys to use the Sages, maybe even use the Leveler for Kuman again. You can just swap it out.
Oh, who's even holding the Leveler? Because it's not like any of the other heroes really utilize attack speed. Yeah, apart from maybe Tiny. Maybe Tiny's got it for the extra punches.
I'm not sure if Blizzy, no. They're not using it at all.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't know why it's not in his backpack at least. Well, 25% quicker to end the game. Blizzy,
okay.
He did jump in there. I mean, the scan hit, but there was an illusion, and people sometimes forget that the scan does still return as a positive if there is illusion in the area. So scanned an illusion and got a little spooked.
They wasted a lot of their time there. Still nothing too terrible. Morphling was still out pushing, so the waves are controlled. The only problem is the top lane that's being out pushed a little bit, but Cyber Legacy, they're fine with it. You have to take your chances. They did catch Terrorblade a couple of times earlier, right?
No, yeah,
they're fine with this. You're in this spot in which, you want to keep them choked completely in their base, but you have to understand that that's very difficult to do. Keeping two sides just pushed in is enough.
No, yeah. I mean, they're in a very comfortable spot, 20k ahead. I mean, the Rapier Terrorblade is definitely something that's still going to be a bit of a difficulty to push high ground into.
I think it's the Rapier Terrorblade, but one hero that's extremely important for them is Darkseer. The walls and the vacuum combos in this game are incredibly important for tempo. And you could see that Cyber Legacy, once they eliminate Darkseer, there's no control and pretty much no teamfight coming from Tempo's side afterwards. That happened in the Dire Jungle before.
Maybe I'll have a nap.
I mean, Tempo is... do you leave the base as Tempo, or do you just wait for the high ground push? Is there any value in trying to catch them outside of your base?
Does he have ninja gear on Terrorblade? I think that's what he's... that's what he's doing. So he just leaves the base, uses those illusions. I think this is the safest option for you, because you're still playing versus that Aegis, who is on your high ground, by the way, right now.
And we'll be able to force out the fortification there, so now an opening. Cyber Legacy to get in and do the real damage, to get the hook shot in. Onto the Morph, starting to mess around with Kuman. An early false promise actually comes out to Kuman, allows him to play an aggressive as he dives in deep, bursts up LeBron. Got the cogs and the damage from the Terrorblade. That is going to be enough to pop him the once there with this Rapier Metamorphosis damage. The wall laid down on him into the root. He's got the BKB back in his inventory. Will be able to pop it to get out, but Big Num will die for that.
Yeah, but he still saves the Morphling, which is huge, and the buyback is there. They know meta has been popped, there's no wall. This is a huge now opportunity for Cyber Legacy to push the high ground.
Well, let's see how much they can force it with those two aspects removed from the equation.
I'm just surprised the Tempo didn't punish Kuman even more there, because you have double stuns from the Clockwork. If he was cogging him back inside the base, maybe they could even dislocate him even further from his teammates. But they're just afraid. They know how strong he is. Can't blame them.
There we go. Kuman, he's in the arena. Not going to catch anyone, but he does create this area where they can hit the buildings without any interference. So
okay, that's fair.
Just sort of setting up the demolition zone.
That's very fair. I haven't seen that before, but that's cool.
We're going to hit your buildings. You can't do anything about it.
What do you think? I guess they planned it, but they did try to catch Terrorblade.
Oh, hook shot in. DNZ, he's onto the Morph on the back. Blizzy in the front with the arena. The burst coming out onto DNZ. DNZ getting Reaper's Scythe as Magical finishes him off, but there's a buyback available on the clock. Noob and the front trying to take down Slayer. One more hit from Yatoro will do it. The vacuum is cancelled. The TP out. Kuman, he's in trouble. He's got to run. The chase is there. The toss back trying to get Kuman to safety. Noob, can he grab hold of this? There's still BKB available. No TP though. TP is on cooldown. Yatoro's in with the Skadi slow. Another jumps to the high ground with this Remnant. Noob continuing this chase. Kuman, he's going to try and turn a lifesteal back up. Yatoro's here with the damage though. Kuman, he's out of mana. Kuman, he's going to go down.
That's
a dead morph and
two rapiers.
Whoa, he's ready to dual wield now, Yatoro. They are up. What? They finished off the bottom racks. They got the melee racks mid, but I mean the game. You know it was not won yet for Cyber Legacy, and they've just gone and fed away a rapier to this Terrorblade who's now got 2.
Does he have enough gold on Morphling to buy another one?
I think he did. Morph did have an insane amount of money, so we'll be able to buy enough.
Okay.
So there's going to be another rapier thrown into the game. But as we saw there, he dies in a situation where it's a Terrorblade with 1 rapier. Now it's a Terrorblade with 2 rapiers.
It might be even detrimental for Tempo. It might be bad for them because because
he's got to take so many items out for the rapiers.
Exactly, and he took out the BKB, as you can see. He has that refresher right now, but that's mostly just to get the cooldown off. Later on, he has to put in either the BKB or Satanic, but you
can only have one or the other.
You can only have one, exactly. Maybe no, you need Manta too as the Terrorblade.
Oh, let's see. Double rapiers online. Has Kuman picked up a second one yet? I imagine whilst you're dead for 30 more seconds, you're probably getting a curry out, doing a little bit of shopping.
Yeah, he's missing 5,000 golds.
Yes, he has. So he's bought one. He's definitely bought one.
Did he? Or maybe that's the shard.
No. He had like 12,000 gold.
Blizzy?
Blizzard is he's dropped the arena, but he is surely dead. Can he? No, he can't run away from this. That's it. Oh, can he? Is he out? Oh, vacuum at the last moment. Nearly made it away, though. Good attempt from Blizzy. And Mitch will catch him. Yeah, he must have picked up a rapier, the morph. Yeah. I can't imagine where else the money would have gone.
The reason Blizzy almost got away there because of the cogs. And Yatoro obviously doesn't want to use the meta. He actually didn't even have it there. So maybe DNZ shouldn't just cog there. Well, you don't have the meta, right? You don't have the damage without it.
Yeah, there it is. So the backup rapier invested in.
Rapier shard. Daedalus actually queued up next. What do you replace even at this point?
I don't know. What are you swapping out for a Daedalus?
You want that Manta. You want the BKB because of the control.
I mean, I guess you're popping BKB, then switching it out for the Daedalus in the fights.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just getting rid of it after the active. That would be the efficiency play. But the pressure on here. I mean, a lost fight, and this Terrorblade is ending the game with these 2 rapiers.
Clockwork has a blink dagger as well.
Oh,
cool, man.
Goes in for the Enchantress kill. Will immediately BKB and TP out.
Where did the hook end?
I think he hooked into his teammate.
Yeah, probably because it wasn't easy to hook Morphling there.
No,
but he does have he had a blink. It happens. Magical.
There we go. Haven't used that Ghost Shroud immediately. Cannot allow the hits from Yatoro to connect. It's just clearing out the illusions with the waveform back and forth. DD, another DD, honestly. Gaben handing out the DDs today.
Yeah, that's... and it was all on the bottom rune for the last 10-15 minutes. Like, the bottom rune was constantly DD.
They're going to smoke his Cyber Legacy. It is going to be into... I mean, I imagine it was the Terrorblade who picked up that DD. It's going to be they're smoking into a double damage rune.
They're perhaps doing it because of the meta was used, but he does have refresher.
It's back up.
Yeah,
he's popped it. He's got a second meta ready to go. Hook shot in. They get the catch on to Blizzy. Blink to the side here as DNZ looks to focus down the Morphling. They've caught him in the initial stumble. Kuman pots the BKB. Turns over towards DNZ. Takes him out. The arena down as well. But Yatoro, he's being through them all. Blizzy's being safe for now by the false promise. Toss up from big numbers. They look to control Yatoro. The scythe comes out, but it's a little too early as Yatoro will live. Turns over towards Magical. Magical's dead. The root's out, but they cannot touch this Terrorblade. Yatoro just destroying them all with these rapiers. The double buybacks coming out from Cyber Legacy, but they cannot save Kuman. A third buyback coming through as Big Num is dying again. The tosses, it's not enough to keep this Yatoro held in position. Can they burst it? Kuman with the buybacks, the return to fight, he can. The rapiers hit the decks. As now 3 rapiers should be under the control of Cyber Legacy.
Who picks them up? Blizzy gets one, I guess.
Unless, so where are they? There's one on Blizzy. Maybe the one that Kuman dropped is still actually in the hands of one of the members of Tempo.
Maybe they stole Enchantress or Darkseer perhaps, but...
Where did the rapiers go? But that was 4 buybacks from Cyber Legacy. Absolutely worth it. because they get the Roche, they get the Rapiers.
Refresher,
Aghanims. Who
Aghanims.
takes the Aghanims? Was it Blizzy?
Morphling is
There.
keeping it for now. I don't think he uses it, right? Like, you give that Aghanims away. Did he give it? He gave it, right? Who's got it?
So where's the Rapier? So Rapier and Blizzy. Yeah, okay, so LeBron did get out with the Rapier that Kuman dropped. So LeBron at least has a Rapier.
Do they have
On
the
the
battle?
Enchantress, it's something. Here we go. Well, go on, hit him. I just want to see a Rapier hit from it, see if it looks... and is it very underwhelming? Yeah. Oh, instant illusion kill.
Yeah, can he actually...
Oh! Vacuum into the hook shot into the backside of the Darkseer. Cogs are down. They've trapped Magical and Blizzy. False Promise onto the Necrophos. Saves him for now. Blizzy trying to get out as the Cogs will come to an end. Now they'll turn over towards Mitch. Mitch, he's trapped in the Cogs of his own teammate here. They have taken Kuman down the once, though, on the high ground. Big Num comes in with a burst combo onto Mitch. Waveform forward. Mitch will fall. They've taken out the Darkseer depth for 2 minutes. Just left to LeBron and Jitoro in an attempt to try and hold, but the Mega Creeps are out.
Come on, LeBron, you wonderful beast. You have this Rapier.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, so much damage.
But this one should be in the bag for Cyber Legacy. Tier 4s are gone. They jump over towards Jitoro. Jitoro's got to do something phenomenal if he wants to hold this, but he cannot. The Ancient being focused. They'll even turn, pick Jitoro up on the way out. As the game is over, the Ancient will fall. Cyber Legacy will take game 2, and with that, the series is theirs, 2-0.